to discuss The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 6, Always Accountable. And, we have a new person joining us today. Hello, Graphite Girl.
Hi.
Hello.
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 Hey, girl. How you doing?
Okay. So, what do you want to start with?
Well, it started off really fast, so it didn't give me a chance to actually sit down and, get my story sync up for the AMC Walking Dead site. It just went right in. So I mean, everything is all, can I say, copacetic? They're a couple miles ahead of the herd, and then they're making their way back to the zone, and then bang, the gun started firing. So I was like, whoa, this is good. I'm ready.
Right.
Yeah, the pacing was so much better, and I don't know, like the story was more interesting. Well, I don't know. I'll let someone else talk.
There was a disconnect. There was a disconnect for me. I really just didn't care for the episode. There was a disconnect.
What did you not like?
Okay, let's start with Daryl. So, Daryl, you just got in Alexandria and you just forgot how you shouldn't be just trusting anybody, even though you didn't ask them the 3 questions. You didn't got jacked 2 times. 2 times. By the same people.
But you know what? He's still alive, so I think I think they're good people. I don't think they're the issue, and I think he's gonna get his stuff back. So I don't think it's a big deal.
I didn't see any problem with that. I just thought it was a very good learning experience for Daryl, because we need to remember when Merle said that Daryl was always the soft one. We have always gotten the impression that Daryl was hard, but if you have looked at Daryl through each season, he was the, I guess you can say, the calm one. The one who always, went with, of course, Rick's plan, but he was like, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it this way. Like looking for Sophia in season 2, jumping on his bike to get milk for little ass kicker. I mean, there was like no kind of hesitation whatsoever with him. He just went on his bike, and of course, Maggie, and him. And I mean, going back for Andrea, with the war with the governor, and agreeing with Michonne, like, yeah, let's go back to Woodbury, and it's like I think he still give these people in this world that they are in right now the benefit of a doubt, and that's just him. I just I knew he was gonna get his ass handed to him one way or another the second time around, but it was just nice seeing Daryl and his guns again. Did you guys see his shoulders? Oh my God. Woo.
They were rusty. They just, but okay. With a little bit of blood.
But you guys, that's just my opinion. I was just really happy that we got an episode where it was better. It was good. Granted, from what you guys were saying, and then catching a little pieces, because my husband watched it. He watched last week's episode last night, and I just watched here and there these little glimpses, and I kind of laughed when Deanna was stabbing that walker, like stabbing. So
I'm trying to tell you.
So I was like, what is she doing?
But, I mean, I think the episode was better, but considering how bad last week was, I mean, it's not saying too much. Right.
Yes.
Where did this Sasha and Abraham thing come from? I totally didn't see that coming.
It came from out of nowhere.
What?
Did you guys see that I posted it on Tumblr? Because the story, exactly, here it is. and then I was so upset. I got my wording confused because I didn't want it to make it seem like I was like against it. What I was trying to say is that here I've been following the story sync from the very beginning, and not once have I ever seen them ship a relationship like Abe and Sasha, and then as oddly as their way of intimate as that was, like how could they not try and do something like that for Rick and Michonne? So I was very irritated with that, and
I saw that.
I was very, and I was also confused. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Where did this come from? Like, really?
Yeah, I was really irritated, and then I figure out why I was irritated. It's okay to ship an average guy. You know, it's okay because as long as it's not with their lead, people, quote unquote, are okay with that. And I'm not saying like we're okay with that. We know who we're talking about as far as being okay with that whole scene. But that's where my irritability had lied. So.
But can I say this? Okay, so Sasha's taking on some of Michonne's part. She's taking on Andrea. She's taking on Holly. Did I leave anybody out?
No.
Did I leave anybody out?
No.
And where's Michonne's story? She still hasn't got one. It's been given to other people, and she still hasn't got one.
I'm confused.
It's like, you know what? How is it
doing? It doesn't make any sense. But I mean, I don't understand this season at all because we're almost halfway through it. And we won't. I feel bad for being so upset about the Carol episode because she only had that one episode and that was it.
I told y'all.
I don't feel bad. I don't take it back. I said by my read. Look,
I mean, I did say we were only in episode 2. I don't know if they would continue it, but like.
But we haven't seen anyone for like any extended amount of time besides like Morgan, and I'm sick of this whole storytelling device. Just give us.
Haven't you guys also realized that the writers are all white men? Oh, I'm sorry. All white men plus a lady.
No, there's 2. Because last night's episode was written by Heather Belcom.
2 are women. Yay! Yay! Let's hand everybody out some balloons. No, you guys.
I mean, no, they're not doing a good job, especially.
No, they are not doing a good job writing and expressing the feelings and emotions coming directly from a woman. Because here it is. Listen, okay, we have yet to see Glenn. We haven't seen Maggie like fully like coping at all. It was like it's like I don't know. I thought for some reason I was gonna see her again today. Yesterday, but we didn't. We only got one woman from Team Family and 2 complete strangers that I didn't want to know nothing about.
And one of them died.
Nothing. But yet we know one of them is on insulin, and you expect me to feel sorry for her? No, I don't. So, can you please go to bed? Okay, go. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. But you guys know what I mean, right? I mean, how are you gonna have all these writers and then I'm gonna actually write an episode with all these women? It's frustrating.
I don't know what they're doing, but I can say if The Walking Dead goes astray, it's all on them.
Definitely.
Because I'm not enjoying season 6 at all, to be honest.
You're not alone.
But I can say if The Walking Dead goes astray, it's all on them.
Sorry. I was trying to find a comment that we got, so I had to go to the YouTube page, but the comments aren't showing up. So
Let me see.
Let me try this way. Sorry, please continue.
Well, I agree. I don't like season 6 either, but I didn't think I was gonna like the first half anyway because of her. So I'm just waiting for the mid-season premiere, and hopefully they'll be back on track.
I just don't know where they're going. I think that they're trying to throw us off so much because we know so much from the comic books that's to happen this season, and I think that they're just trying to like throw us off, but it's just kind of like, what the hell? Like, it's just too much weirdness going on for me. The grouping up of how they're grouping people up together. I'm just like, where did this come from? It makes no sense. You know, I don't think I could guess The Walking Dead and where they're going. I don't know. At this point,
we're so disconnected because we only see like people for minutes at a time, and it's been almost half a season. It's like, why are y'all doing this to us? Just tell the story straight. You didn't need all this. It's so strange.
And you know, do you guys watch Z Nation? Any of you guys watch Z Nation?
Yes,
Nope.
I do.
Nobody.
And I love it. I love it.
I mean,
if you guys are not watching it, you are missing out.
You're missing out because they take the characters and the development is so good. Mm-hmm. We know them. We know who our core group is as of season 2. They have a small group. When they meet people, they don't join the group. They go off to the left. They're not like The Walking Dead where all these people want to be with Team Family. It's like, you have your story, now gone. You know what I'm saying? And we stick to our core group. And we know our group, and we know their backstory, and they do a good job of writing the women on that show.
Yes, and not only that, it's campy, it's funny, it's like surreal, but you get sucked in. I mean, they make fun. Not only do they make fun of all these other shows on TV, but they also respect it at the same time. They brought up The Walking Dead. They brought up Game of Thrones. I mean, as a matter of fact, guess who was on Z Nation? The writer himself was on Z Nation. It was so great. So, look, you guys have to watch it. You guys have to watch Z Nation. I mean, Roberta is just a complete badass, but not only is she a badass, but she's the group leader. So they listen to her, and she's a black woman.
Yes.
And she's beautiful, and she's tough. And I mean, even Murphy himself to me, I think he has this secret crush on her.
He does. I feel it too.
Yes, so.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Most definitely. But all aside, I'm just saying, I don't know what The Walking Dead is doing. Like we said before, we just need some mix-ups, some different writers, or something, because I just feel a disconnect. I'm not excited on Sundays when The Walking Dead comes on. And for me, I guess that moment when Daryl had got away from Dwight, because they didn't say it was Dwight, but we know it's Dwight.
Right.
He got away from Dwight, and you remember when the walker was coming to him, and he couldn't get his crossbow, and I'm like, dude, all you gotta do is run up and knock him down and smash his head in.
Yeah, that was a really stupid moment. They're like trying to build like drama or suspense. They're like, he doesn't even need the bow to kill him. What?
I was like, what is this?
Is this season 2? Is it season 2 again?
Right. I know. Are we back in season 1, one-on-one on how to kill a walker? What is going on? And then I was like, when he ran away from Dwight, he ran 5 steps away from them. And I'm like, they could catch up to you. They can still see you. You know, I'm just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And where did you get those tree branches to cover up your bite? Another prop just happened to be there.
Right, because like wasn't the whole place burnt down or something?
Yeah, it was burnt. But I mean, I just thought it was a little. Did anybody thought of the swamp thing when they saw that walker? Because I did. I saw a little.
Yeah, I think it was a homage.
I think I was like, wow. And when I saw the flower, and I was like, oh my God, it's a Cherokee rose. Yay, look at that. Homage to Carol and Daryl. But I instantly thought of the Swamp Thing too, because there was a scene in Swamp Thing where he actually grew a flower and plucked it and gave it to I forgot what her name is.
Locklear.
Yes.
Right?
I was like, oh my God. I was like, that was really comical. Since we're talking about the fire, anyone saw that motorcycle walker with the helmet on his head?
Yeah.
And did they bring up? There was some. Okay, granted, I liked the episode, but to me, I felt like there was some kind of inconsistencies. Like, was this biker running from the group or looking for Dwight and his companions? And is that why they had set the forest on fire? Or
I thought the forest would set on fire like as soon as the apocalypse started. Like it was a long time ago.
I thought that Dwight said he set it on fire to get rid of the walkers, but I could be wrong. I don't,
like at the beginning.
I'm confused. Yeah.
They learned it, I guess. So that I don't know. It was some stupid explanation that they did at the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's always strange when we encounter new people because it's like, why are we just like learning about you now? Like, I mean, even though it's like an apocalypse and there's no communication really, like you gotta know that there's people in the area. Like, I mean, I don't really get the logistics of this show. It's like there's nobody there until suddenly there is.
Nobody there. Yep.
Yeah.
And we haven't even got done with the wolves yet. Are we going to see them again, or they're just done?
I think
before we get into this other threat.
No, I guess I was saying that we will see more of them, especially since we've got to deal with Morgan in the next episode.
Right.
So. But of course that's another inconsistency. It's like Rick doesn't care about like there's possibly wolves out there. And I was reading a review that talked about like, how trying to divert the herd away was a stupid idea because they're diverting it away to where? Like there are other groups out there and they're just sending this huge herd their way. It's like they're not thinking.
Right.
They're just thinking of themselves. I don't see anything wrong with looking out for numero uno.
Well,
I'm sure
I get that, but doing it in a way that like is smart.
Yes, you are right, because I'm sure that's exactly how we're going to be introduced to the saviors, because they'll be like, hey, you're sending them our way, and you're not thinking like there are people out there and bad call or among other things. But I don't.
It was a super dangerous way, considering you've got this group of people that don't know what they're doing, and they could have just set fire to them.
That's what my mom was saying. Why they just can't set them mother effers on fire?
Well, they got a tank now. They got a tank of fuel. Maybe that's their plan. Well, I don't know what exactly their plan is. These writers.
But right now they've got a bunch of walkers just sitting outside, and they're supposedly going to have like time to like have peace or whatever. Next episode.
How are they in time for peace? They are so dumb.
What I don't like is you're taking out a big part of the comic book where they go out there and they try to, take out as many walkers as they can. They do go in the comic book and go outside the gates and try to diffuse the situation, and they figure out that they can't.
Right.
So I'm like, when are we going to get that? Because we should be getting that episode 7 or 8, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
So I'm confused because Rick sees the blood. Apparently the wall was bleeding. Rick sees that, and then, like, I don't understand what happens after that. Like, I know that's going to happen in the episode, but it just seems like if they're talking about peace, like, they should be fighting as soon as he sees blood coming through the wall.
No, of course not. Why would there be when there's the moment of peace, Ash? There's
That's
a moment
what the title. That's what the summary is. I'm like, how is that possible?
I see this.
They say it's supposed to be peace next episode.
Right.
So the way that they're hyping up that episode, like I said, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid anymore with The Walking Dead, and I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid with that Richonne little piece either. I'm not. No.
Oh, I haven't seen that little scene, and I don't want to get all too excited myself.
Yeah. Because how convenient.
I want to see how it turns out. I do.
It's just funny.
How convenient.
As the Talking Dead piece after last week.
Yeah. To put them together.
Yeah. I see you, AMC.
Yeah.
It feels like dating, but I don't understand how, like, Sasha and Abraham can have, like, one scene, and they're like, oh, what's going to happen with them? And then Rick and Michonne have all of these scenes, and there's nothing. It's like, oh, they're just friends.
Nothing.
I want to say something. About this, but I don't know who I'm going to offend. So I don't
just say it.
Say it, girl. I got your back. Say it.
Okay, so when that scene had happened, you know what my husband has said to me? He said to me, well, there you go. There's your interracial couple that you were asking for on The Walking Dead.
I thought the same thing. I'm with you.
And I said, honey, that was not the interracial couple I was looking for in The Walking Dead. I was looking for the queen and the king of the apocalypse. And who is that exactly? Rick and Michonne. And then, he tells me there's no way they are going to do a Rick and Michonne because, and this is what he said, Michonne is not pleasing to whoever eyes is like whoever is watching the screen, they don't find that acceptable. My husband said that to me. He's like, baby, I'm like behind you 100% because I didn't see it until you pointed out these scenes to me about what's going on with them. And I mean, like, you show me the videos where he is rooting for these two to get together. So it's like, he's like, I don't know. I'm like with you with them happening, but he's like, there's no way they're going to pair them two together. So
I thought the same thing.
There you go, you guys. I said it. I feel kind of bad, but I feel like really relieved. And then for him to say that, and then for me to like, oh, so is this why they did this with Abe and Sasha? That they gave us an interracial relationship?
Well, for one, we've already got an interracial relationship. We've got Len and Maggie. So, I mean, it's not them. I don't know what they're doing. And
exactly.
I don't think that because we've got Sasha and Abe now that they're not going to do Rick and Michonne. My problem is I think they're still going to do Rick and Michonne, but they're not going to give her anything other than Rick and Michonne.
And, oh my God, that's also another thing that I'm afraid of. I mean, because there are some really, really great Michonne moments in the comics that I was expecting her to have, but they didn't give it to her. They gave it to Sasha instead. And I was very confused about it. And I mentioned it to you guys in these chat things before, like at the party. Like, Michonne had so much stress, post-traumatic stress disorder in the comics that she stomped out of the party. Like, she walked right out. But no, they gave it to Sasha. And they gave Sasha the scene, and they gave Sasha the scene with the Abe. And I'm sure it's going to be Sasha and Abe that's going to be meeting Jesus. It was supposed to be Michonne and Abe that's meeting Jesus. And I was like, it's very confusing to me right now, and I hope that they don't put her in the back seat because I'll be so upset. I'll be so upset. To the
It
point
don't
of
That's
look
what
good
it's
for
looking like
her.
to me.
Yeah.
It looks like, and I keep seeing these comments about how, this story with Rick and Jesse doesn't affect Michonne. But that is
does.
complete bullshit to me because it's affecting her because, one, we don't see anything of her but her with Rick. Like this whole season, she's been all about Rick. And so you're saying if he's showing attention to some other woman and he's ignoring Michonne, that doesn't affect her?
But it was
No, it
crazy.
does. And then
I'm sorry, Kay. I'm a little excited over this conversation.
yeah, I don't know if I would say excited. Pissed off is more like it for me.
Or animated, yeah. I do know that I just felt like I just needed to say what I wanted to say. And I hope it doesn't upset any one of you guys. I hope that...
Well, I agree with you. I thought the
guess
same
I'm
thing.
past upset. I'm just like, this is what it is. This is what's going to happen. Like,
Right.
They're not going to give Rick and Michonne a good story. Like, I'm sure Rick will get great stuff. He'll get stuff as the leader. He'll get stuff as a good dad. He'll get stuff as a good friend. But Michonne will just have Rick, and that really upsets me.
Yep.
Well, maybe we wait and see what happens.
Yeah, because they've got such a great track record of giving us anything from Michonne. And we can't even really blame it on Jessie because it started before she even showed up. Like in the beginning of season 5, it was just like Michonne is all about Rick, all about his family, and then we don't see her for episode after episode. And then when we do see her, like it's not good enough. So I'm giving this season, I'm going to give it to the end of the season and see what they do. But if things don't change, I don't think I can continue watching The Walking Dead.
Me too.
I'm
giving it to the end.
Yeah, me 3.
I'm giving it to the end. It's not going good at all. Michonne is really not in any episode. She doesn't have a story. I'm just like, what are y'all gonna do with her? What is going on? Why are you giving all of her important parts to Sasha? I feel like if y'all are gonna be adding in these new characters, don't be remixing stuff and giving them people stuff. Give them their own story. If you can't come up with a story for them on their own, then you don't need to be making up these new characters. Because you're doing too much. It's ridiculous. I don't like what they did. I really just don't think they know where to go anymore with The Walking Dead. They don't know where to go.
And remember what we said last week? It's all about the writers. Like, they need
to...
It's like, what are they doing?
You have a graphic novel.
It's like, what are they doing?
You have a graphic novel. Read the graphic novel and go from there. I mean, come on.
It's not where Kirkman is in all of this. Like, 'cause he's too busy doing Fear the Walking Dead stuff that he can't take care of his original show.
Like, I don't know. I mean,
we don't even see him anymore. We don't even see him. He doesn't even give interviews anymore. I don't even think he likes where the show is going, to be honest.
Right? Yes. I agree.
Doesn't he still have the rights to it? Can't he, like, move it to another network so we can get some real stories?
Well, there's so much stuff going on with the network and with The Walking Dead. I mean, they got that whole drama with Daryl.
Yeah.
They got that whole lawsuit going on with him. And even if he was still the showrunner of the show, I highly doubt he was gonna give Michonne any kind of justice. He looked the type. He looked the type that will just put all the black women on the back burner and focus the attention on.
Well, he did it with Jackie. That's right.
Killed her in episode 6, and she really didn't have a big part in it either. I don't even remember. No. I forget that we had a black woman in season 1. I'm like, I forgot about Jackie.
Yes.
God.
Oh, I just saw. Wait, is this a comment? I just got a comment on my phone.
Okay.
It just came through. Let me see if I can open it. It's from an Angie Garcia. She said Robert Kirkman hasn't even written one episode this season. Really?
Wow. Wow.
I think Fear the Walking Dead took a lot of his time, but he was on set for episode 10, so he hasn't just disappeared.
Oh, well, that's
he needs to be more hands-on.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
He's like a 17-year-old.
Well, I didn't know that.
I mean, he wasn't at the Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. Remember, he wasn't there.
Wasn't he sick or something?
Yeah, I think he couldn't. He had like a doctor's note or something.
Wow, there's like normally I'm on my phone for this, but this is cool that I actually saw that it even buzzed through. Wow, that's awesome.
For some reason the comments are disabled on YouTube, and I don't know how to get it to allow us to read the comments. Because I got one on I got an email about it, but it's only like half of the comment. How about this? Candy Ma, if you're watching, can you like leave a comment on the event page, or I've got the Q&A for the chat open, so if you can do that, then I can read your whole comment, and then we can talk about it. Just watching, and he couldn't join the chat because he's under 18.
Aww.
Wait, what happened?
Something.
One of our viewers is under 18, so I set it so that only 18 and up can join the chat, because I don't want to get sued for anything. I don't know, but
Well, okay, yeah, no, that's fine.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yes.
You know.
But Camille over here in our group chat, she wrote some stuff here.
okay, let me go back to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Camille about the comics. Do you think they're trying to make a point? Glenn almost dies, so Negan likely won't kill him. But could that mean he goes after a bunch of the red shirts for effect? This would be a good way to minimize the cast as well.
No. I don't think so.
I don't either. I think he's gonna kill Morgan.
I think they're gonna kill Daryl.
I hope they kill Daryl, but I think they're gonna top it.
I think they're gonna kill Daryl because there's too much parallel with him and Dwight. I might be reaching, but I think it's gonna be Daryl, not Glenn.
I don't think it's gonna be Glenn, because that would be very predictable.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna have to be one of the main cast members, but I'm not sure who.
I think it should be Daryl. Like that's a good death for him, and it's time for him to go.
It's time.
No offense.
Oh, girl, I've been saying that since season 3. It's time. It's time.
I agree.
You know.
But
get the flowers or whatever.
And a very cynical part of me is like, it's gonna be Michonne. Like, Denai is gonna get her like do some like Broadway stuff, and she just needs the time, so she's gonna be like, okay, kill me off, it's fine.
If they do that, I'll never forgive them.
No more watching.
Take the shackles off my feet.
Well, I'm glad I know that's not happening. So.
But if they kill her off, I would be mad. I know they're not doing much with her character, but I would be so mad. I'd be done. I would be. I'd be mad.
I'd be mad, but I'd be like, okay, it's time to go. It's time to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though I love Glenn, and I'm a little bit excited for the the Gleggy baby. Like, it's gonna be so cute.
I know.
But I can't keep watching a show that continually disappoints me. And it doesn't look like it's gonna get any better.
Nope.
Unless they fired some people and start
But
off.
you know what? Did you guys read Michael Cutlett's favorite interview? I read it today where he was talking about him and I mean, AMC, they could be trolling, but do you think that they just trying to throw a wrench in our ship to make us think that they not going, you know what I'm saying? Because he said something like, you know, that they kind of recognize that they have a deep connection there, a deep friendship there. If it goes to romance or if it doesn't, they know what they mean to each other. That's what he said.
Wait, he was talking about him and Sasha?
He was talking about him and Sasha.
Oh, okay.
They have a deep connection? What? What are you talking about? They've been in one episode together. That's ridiculous.
Girl, he was deep. He was deep about it. He was saying they got this deep connection. That's what he said. I'm like, dang. After one episode?
Exactly.
But
I'm so irritated with that. And then to see it on Story Sync, I think I was just beyond. I was just like, you know what, that moment needs to hurry up. This episode needs to be done with so I can focus more on Daryl and his arms and get into the Badlands. Because
Talking Dead pissed me off too, because they had one scene together or like two scenes together, and like half the episode they were talking about Sasha and Abraham hooking up. And it's like we had the distance. We had, their moment in Conquer. We've had so many Rick and Michonne moments, and you can't spend any time talking about that.
Right.
Like, what is going on? Why is there like this like glass wall or something that we can't get past when it comes to Rick and Michonne?
I just feel like it's just something that they can't talk about. I don't know why they cannot talk about it. If you're not gonna do it, just say you're not gonna do it. Just say it.
Right.
Camille also says, hold on. Well, she said a lot. Sorry. So, I've been wondering if the writers, in a convoluted way, are trying to keep the Michonne and Rick relationship pure, because they will slut shame her like a lot of people try to do with the comics, and some don't want that with their leading male character. Because she was supposed to have a lot of deeply profound portions of her character explained in her relationships, and she didn't get that. They don't care if the man ends up needing a transplant because he overused his penis, if that was possible. But the pressure to be saint-like is always on the woman.
Yes.
I agree.
You are right. Yes.
Hit it on the nail.
I mean, that seems to be the only explanation, that Michonne has to be pure in order to get with Rick.
Because look at what happened to Andrea. You slept with the governor. They had to kill her completely. I was like, they didn't have to kill her. She just didn't have to be with Rick.
But
that's what I'm saying.
You guys, Rick is not a god. Yes, he's good looking. He got the swag. He's smooth, and this is exactly what TV does with the male lead. They put them on this pedestal, and they have us climb these pedestals up to reach these men. It's ridiculous. They do it on Scandal, but thank God for Mrs. Davis, because she was like, no, people need to see how women, especially black women, really are. So you don't see her climbing on nobody's pedestal, but no man. So I was like, Camille, I agree with this 100%. But yes.
Good question. Good.
Rick is Rick. He's good looking. But what I was thinking, like, okay, if there's a good looking guy in the zone that's giving Michonne all the attention that she deserved, I mean, why not? Why not divert the eyes on this guy who's giving her all the attention? I mean, why not? Why have we not seen that? Like, you got Tara, who's almost in a relationship for the second time. Rosita Spencer is so tucked up. Rosita, it's not even funny, And then Sasha again with Abe, because she had Bob for a little bit, and I was like, but Michonne has nobody, and Carol.
Nobody.
What? I just seeing that story sink it really irritates me. And I mean, I know we will always keep talking about that, but it just bothers me, you guys. It really bothers me because it was so left field. It was like there was nothing in the conversation that moved the air between these two characters, but yet let's ship them. AMC was like, yes, let's ship them and let's see how people will be to this.
Right. I'm telling you, they just pulling rabbits out their butt and just going with it. It's just like, I think they have, like, they draw out of a hat and they like, okay, let's see what we're going to put in this episode. All right, Sasha and Abraham, let's do it. Write it. You know what I'm saying? Just.
Yeah, and let's talk about Rosita for a second. Like, how is Abraham putting the moves on Sasha when he's still in a relationship with Rosita? Like, didn't she spend the last episode crying over him? Doesn't she still care about him?
Yeah.
Yes.
And why would he not care about her anymore?
He did it in the comics.
Oh,
he did it like that in the comics. He quit that like a bad habit. He quit her like a bad habit, let me tell you. He did her dirty. And the way he broke up with her in the comic books was jacked up. He was like, I thought you were like the only woman. And when I figured out it was more women out there in the world, he basically like told her that. I can't really verbatim say what he said because I can't remember. But he did say something like, I thought you were the only woman out there. And here I am in a community where there's more women that are more interesting than you.
Okay.
Basically.
No, that's pretty much exactly how he played it on Rosita in the comics.
Yeah.
He became a douche to me.
He was wrong how he did her, and up until she, spoiler alert, died, she was in love with that man to the end,
Well, maybe Spencer will console Rosita on the show.
Well, technically it was supposed to be Eugene, but I'm not picky.
I'd rather it be Eugene, because I like that story where he just wanted her and she was just settling. Like, I like that. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like that. I kind of wish it is Eugene.
Well, I mean, it does seem like, based on Sasha's comment, like, you got stuff to figure out first. Hopefully he'll break up with Rosita before anything happens between them, because I don't want to see Sasha doing her friend wrong like that. That would just be...
But are they really friends?
But they're not friends.
Are they
really
not friends? Have we seen any of them
No, they're not friends.
Season, killing walkers together, they're friends.
No.
Friends.
No. You know who's friends?
Sasha and Rosita.
When did they kill zombies together?
And Michonne are friends.
Episode 515.
Try.
When Michonne was with them?
Look, I still have a problem with that scene. And I still, everyone is like, oh, that's great, it's women out there fighting. However, what people need to realize is that Michonne doesn't have it good, She never had it good. The only person that knows about her life is Carl.
Right.
And who she was before. She still has her demons, but apparently from Sasha, Michonne has it good. And I was like, no, she doesn't. She's been looking out for you since you guys were on the road. You tried getting her face. Michonne had to give you that stare so you can back down a little bit because she really is looking out for you. However, Michonne has never had it good. And no one hasn't seen it but Carl. And I don't understand, like, when is everyone else going to know about her child? It's like mother.
Never.
Supposed to know if Carol is so motherly, wouldn't she have known that Michonne is a mom too. Like, you know, like Carol is like so with Sam, and she's baking and doing all these things because this is her persona. It's although it's fake and whatnot. It's like I'm under the impression because I'm a mom, and it's like moms know. I don't know. I
think that's something that you would know. Unless
it's just like you would know. It's like you would just know, and it's like no one knows but Carl, and I'm tired of that. But Rosita and Sasha, they are not friends. Okay,
they're not.
There was nothing in that in the episode Try that got me like, oh my god, they're tight. They're gonna go back and laugh about it. The only way they're gonna laugh about it if it was in a fan fiction, you know. And it's like
the only thing that I saw from last night was
I still don't think it would be right for Sasha to take Rosita's man like that.
And they live in the same house. I just don't understand how that's gonna work. That's just easy.
Well, let me just say this. She's taking on that Ratchet Michonne story arc.
Yeah.
She's taking that. You know, Michonne was taking men in the comic book.
Because men needed to be taken. I didn't see anything wrong with what she did with Tyrese in the prison.
Okay, can I just say something about that? That was a little extra. No, but just like, let me go down on you. I'm gonna take it. What?
Okay, granted, that part was real slick, man. It was really slick. It was like she just knew.
But in the comics,
she wanted. Michonne knew what she wanted, and she let him know. She let Tyrese know. This is it. And it's like Tyrese didn't fight her. He took it. Like he took, you know, and he kept going back for more.
With what Michonne did in the comics, I think because for one, I don't think Michonne and Carol like had any interaction at all. So I don't think there would be a friendship there. I do think that there is more of a friendship between Sasha and Rosita than there was between Michonne and Carol. So I think that's the difference for me.
How?
Well, obviously, Sasha don't think so. Sasha don't think they friends. She like, you better handle that before you get this. You know.
Pretty much that's exactly what I saw in that scene myself. And I was like, you see what she just told Abe? And Abe didn't even look like he's like he could. I'm sure if there was a nod in there, he would have been nodding. Like, I hear you, and I'm gonna do something about it. Like
why was he playing dress up? Why was he playing dress up?
What was he doing this whole episode? I was just the whole 6 years.
The scene with him on top of the zombie with the like shape. It was so bizarre.
How did he rip his pants and his shirt? I'm like.
I felt I felt bad for Walker. I think you know, sometimes I do dialogues for the Walkers, like when I'm bored with an episode, because if there's like too much talking, it just like bores me out. I was like imagining if the Walker would be like, you know what, why don't you guys just kill me now so I don't have to hear you guys talk about your problems, whatever it was. Because it really was too much talking. And I was like, okay, you need to go out and do something, or you need to go to sleep. But one of you guys need to go out there or something and scavenge.
Or put me out my misery.
It was so much nonsense in the conversation.
Yeah.
They tried so hard to sound profound, but it was just like cryptic nonsense. Like,
right.
Like what did Sasha mean by you don't have to leave any breadcrumbs? Because she was clearly leaving breadcrumbs for Daryl.
Yes.
Yeah, she put that big old Dixon on the door. Hello.
And did you see how she purposely put a footprint in the mud?
Yes.
Yes.
What was that about? Yeah.
Why? I don't get it.
Crumb. That was a breadcrumb.
Contradictory. You know, what are you talking about, girl? I was like, where did that print come from? Why would you do that?
I don't know. So I didn't understand some of the things that they were saying, that they were speaking to each other about. I was like, are you going to even take a nap? Like, you gave him a choice. It was either take first watch or take a nap.
Well, you can't take a nap with that zombie beating on. Oh, I'm sorry. Zombie doesn't exist. Walker beating on that glass. I couldn't sleep either with that thing beating on the glass like that.
I was ready for Abe to take it out.
I'm trying to tell you, if I'm asleep, somebody kill that Walker. And it's looking at me, that glass can break.
Exactly. The Walker had wanted to be put out of misery. It really, really did.
It really just looked hungry. It was like, I'm hungry. You know? Golly. I just didn't understand. It.
You know, and I didn't understand him actually risking his life on that makeshift fence for that Walker. I mean, eventually it was. You know what? In my mind, not only in my mind, I said, "Watch, the Walker is gonna slide right off. It's gonna slide right off. All they had to do was just wait." And sure as shit, it slid right off. And what was left? The exact same thing that he was trying to fight the Walker for. Yeah. I was just like, wow. Even I knew what was going to happen.
He just wanted to try on that uniform. That's all. He wanted to rip up his clothes so he can go try on get that uniform. You know.
And flex. He was flexing. He was flexing for her, or peacocking, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah. But I will say this. I will give them this. They got more of a connection than Rick and Jesse do. I'll give it that.
True.
That's easy. So
I give it that. I'd rather them had kissed and threw me for a loop than to see that kiss that was not even, nothing. It was just paper.
I'm still
bland.
Lainey has joined us. Hey, Lainey. Are you there?
Hi, guys.
Hey, Lainey. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, happy guys. What's your kind?
Danielle, you crazy. Oh, we were just talking, we were talking about Abe and Sasha, Lainey.
Yeah.
And their bread and their crumbs.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I guess it's really just like what the girl was saying on Tumblr about the beard. It's just, it's throwing me off. I have to see. I have to see how it's going to turn out.
Right.
I don't really.
It could be nothing.
I don't see no chemistry there. Yeah, it could be nothing, but I don't see any chemistry there. So it's just like, you know what it is? It came out of nowhere. Put it that way. So, like I said, I have to see how that goes. I'm not necessarily feeling it too much, though. But
all
I did like the scenario somebody put on.
Come out of nowhere.
I know.
Except for Rick and Michonne, everybody finding love. Is this a zombie apocalypse or is this the love boat?
It's a bad soap too. I grew up watching soaps. I'm sorry. Angie Garcia commented,
I'm just gonna read what she said because I know Kay, you can't get access onto the comments for some reason, but she said, okay, first said Sasha and Abraham don't have shit, LOL. Oh, did you hear Chris Hardwick? He said he thought Sasha and Abraham was one-sided. It totally wasn't, in my opinion. In the comics, Abraham said, I realized that you weren't the only woman on Earth.
There you go.
Yes. So you weren't the only woman on Earth.
There you go.
Yeah. And that was it. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess my first impression was that it was kind of one-sided. Like, Abraham was definitely putting the moves on her, but I didn't see that she was reciprocating so much. But,
Right.
I mean, thinking about it, I mean, she didn't say no, but not saying no doesn't mean you're saying yes. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I think it's kind of like she didn't, I don't think she was thinking about it in that way, but I think he kind of like made her think, maybe I do have some kind of a attraction to you. I don't know what it is, but maybe I do.
Or maybe it's just her light bulb moment of, yeah, maybe I am interested in something, but not necessarily with you.
Right. It could be that beard. I didn't like.
I didn't. You know what I didn't like? I didn't like the excuse he used about Sasha calling him on his bullshit because Rosita did the same thing. So I didn't like that. Rosita called him on his bullshit when back in season 5 at the fire truck.
But I've never. To me, their relationship to me is one-sided. I don't think he sees Rosita as his equal. I just don't.
Oh no, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
but I
think
with
that,
Sasha, he's like, this is a woman that I can see as my equal and I can listen to. You know, and Rosita, he just does not have. It's just not that respect. She just doesn't have. It's just like a physical thing. You know, that's what it is to me with him and her.
Yeah.
Well, he just needs to end it quick then with her, without anybody really getting hurt. Because I honestly don't see Rosita and Sasha as friends.
But I do want it to kind of be like a little drama, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even gonna lie. Like, how would that, they all live in the same house, how would that be? Like, I kind of want a little bit of bitch. No, you know what I'm saying?
They still got some empty houses. Somebody would have to move out.
You know, I do.
What was that like?
I don't like the way, I don't want them. Oh, I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't want that story of Rosita that's in the comic to be played out on the show. I think that they could do a better story for her. So I don't mind the angst between the three of them, but I want them to do Rosita's story a little bit better. I didn't like that, the way they did her in the comics.
Well, I don't really care. There, I said it. I don't care. You wanna know why I don't care? I'm gonna tell you why I don't care. Anybody that can be introduced in the comic book as a walker's daydream. I mean, look how they introduced her. I mean, there was nothing protective in the outfit that she had on. It was skimpy top, skimpy this, skimpy everywhere. And I was like, what did they just do to me here? What did they just did they just introduce a character that was just eventually going to be walker bait? At this point, if Abraham and Sasha get together, alrighty then. So give me my Rick and Michonne then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people are saying that this is a good thing for Rick and Michonne because it ties into like a story that'll come up in the comics. So.
Yeah, but that's like a ways away.
Well, we got to get there first.
but it's a ways away. I mean,
I mean, you have to start somewhere.
I feel so thirsty. It's like I want Rick and Michonne to happen. I want them to happen. I mean, I wanted them to happen since season 4.
Does anybody think it's not going to happen?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Does anyone think that Rick and Michonne aren't going to happen?
I think they're going to happen. I just think I'm going to be happy.
I think they are going to happen, but they're going to drag it out, and I'll be so pissed.
They're not. It's going to happen.
I think they're going to drag it out.
Yeah.
They're going to drag it out way too long.
They can't drag it out because Rick has to be with someone by the time Negan shows up. I mean, he doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to. I was going to say, he doesn't have to. Like, they could easily just write him as not having anybody.
Okay.
They could.
And then, Rick and Michonne will hook up in the last episode of the last season. Like, I can see that happening.
And that's what I don't want. I don't want that. I don't want that. Please.
It's not going to happen. I feel
just 6B. Put our worries to bed. Do right, 6B. Do right. Shoot. Just do right.
I just
and wouldn't have David and Betsy if it wasn't happening this season.
Well, I gotta disagree because this whole Rick and Jesse thing has just shown how Rick is completely inappropriate for Michonne. It's like, if he really does have this PTSD and this is what's driving him, then he's not ready for Michonne. And if he doesn't have PTSD, then he's just a jerk. So if they do Rick and Michonne this season, they need to address those issues. And if they don't, then it's not going to be good enough.
I think what's going to make him lighter? That's like, I want to know, what is this that he's talking about, Andrew Lincoln is talking about? He's going to be a lot lighter in 6B, so I want to know. I want to know what this lighter is. Is Morgan making you lighter? Are you like, our life is precious? Or did Michonne make you lighter? Which is it? I want to know.
Well, he said it was not Morgan, so, and the fact that he's wearing his wedding ring, I think, says a lot about his mental state and where he is still with Lori. So I think they will fix it. Whether they do a good job of it, we'll see. But
if he take that wedding ring off for Jesse,
he won't. He still has it on.
I don't know. There is absolutely nothing that she can put forth into a relationship with Rick for him to take off the ring. It's too symbolic.
I guess we'll see, but I don't have, like, if he is projecting Lori onto Jesse or whatever, then we need to see, like, it vocalized. We need him to talk about it. We need him to say that, or it's not good enough.
Yeah,
I agree. And I think he will talk about it.
Exactly. But because remember in the comic, Rick had PTSD all along, and we didn't really see any signs of this PTSD that they're referring to when he's infatuated with Jesse. It just came out of nowhere, and as with the comic, he was having the PTSD all along because he was talking with Lori on the phone. So we saw his mental instability all up in, and for it to happen in the show, they have to somehow make us understand, he's been having this PTSD all along. In the comic, he was busy talking on the phone to Lori. So it fit with, he's still crazy.
Right.
But see, ever since Michonne knocked him out, it made it seem like, he's back to his senses again. Like he got his, faculties together. So they need to. They need to show that he is still in some kind of state of trauma.
Right.
Well, we haven't really seen
it. That he still is. I mean, oh my goodness, the guy just ran back to the zone. No one knows how. I mean, a divine intervention. I'm just gonna go with that, where he runs back to the zone. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
But the events in
I tell you
season
what,
5, they didn't disappear. Like, he still waved a gun around like 2 days before all this season 6 started. Like,
Right.
he's still crazy. So I don't know why people think he's better, but I think they will go into that more after Jesse dies. But right now, I don't think he's supposed to be like okay. That's not possible after you were, covered in blood.
not. I wouldn't say okay, but I would say something. I mean, I would take something as far as with him talking with Morgan or Maggie and his eye twitching. Like, what the hell's wrong with your eye, man? What's wrong? Something that we can see that, oh, he really is a little bit, touched.
But he is
Something. But
look at him at the wall in this next episode. He has tears in his eyes for some reason. He looked crazy to me.
Yes. There is nothing
in his eyes. I didn't see that.
Look at the promo where he's telling Morgan they need to talk, and he sees the blood on the wall. He has tears in his eyes. It looks like he's about to have a breakdown. And I'm like, what is wrong with him?
I didn't see that promo. Where is that?
Again.
Oh God.
No, I've seen it, Ash. I know exactly.
I think I saw it on Twitter. I'll see if I can find it.
Okay.
I'm still for him having PTSD. I have no doubt whatsoever, and I feel like that would be like my only excuse and my only reason as to why he would remotely go looking for some person that he doesn't really know other than Team Family to tell her his woos. So
yeah. I mean, it needs to be said. They have to remember that it's not if they're not going to use the phone thing, they're not going to use the phone. Him still talking to Lori. All right, fine, that would have been good. But we need something a little bit more visual, something a little bit more concrete to say that he's still a look. Even though the gun waving thing, yes, but remember it almost made it seem like when Michonne knocked him out and he woke up, he came to his senses. He knew he was wrong. So the first sign of coming back from insanity is the fact that you can recognize, oh yeah, I was acting a little bit crazy. So that's how I took it, like when he admitted, yeah, I was a little bit out of control. So if you're able to recognize your insanity, then you are not so much insane. If you could recognize your craziness, then you're not all that far gone.
Right.
So
and
that's the way I
PTSD, and we're supposed to think that he has PTSD. Why haven't any of the other characters commented on it? Why are they still saying you need to be our leader? You are our best chance? Like, how would you choose someone with PTSD as your leader? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. It was just like with Carl back at the prison. It's like, maybe you need to step down being their leader.
Like, the only way that Rick and Michonne can happen is if he is crazy. But it doesn't seem like we're supposed to see him as crazy. We're supposed to see him as, our strong leader. And I do get the feeling that we're supposed to think, oh, he's finally got someone that who can make him happy when we see him with Jesse. Because that's kind of the reaction that we've gotten from, Chris Hardwick on Talking Dead and, and stuff. That's what they've been saying, whether or not, I don't know. But I think it feels like there's just kind of two things. There's maybe subtext is he's got PTSD, and so we're supposed to believe that's what's happening. But what they're saying is he doesn't have PTSD.
We'll see, I guess.
And what else was? What else was also in the comic was when Glenn pulled Rick up about Jesse watching Carl, and Glenn was like, you don't even know her. Are you going to leave your kid with? So that was all somebody else calling him out on, Dad, that is so unlike you. Nobody has called him out yet, quote unquote.
I don't think nobody knows.
Glenn called him out.
Yeah. Nobody knows.
That's also the other thing. It's like nobody's called him out on it yet.
Well, somebody needs to call him out.
And read him for filth.
They gotta find out first. She's gonna die first.
Yeah, right. Make that scene good. I tell you what, if that scene with him cutting off Jesse's arm is even a little bit lame, that might ruin the season because everybody is waiting for it. Everybody is waiting for that scene. Oh my God! Everybody is like they are focused.
No, I don't think.
They are
I think
focused
it's gonna
on
be.
mid-season finale.
It's gonna be the highlight. I mean, I'm salivating just for the thought of her arm getting cut off. I'm like, they can't mess that up.
I don't see them showing the whole cut. I don't see them doing that. I see them maybe like and then they like kind of show Rick chopping it off. I don't see them going all the way. I see them kind of copping out. I just don't see them letting the blind go out like that.
They better not. Tennille, they better not cop on that scene. They better not because everybody is waiting for it. It may be like some kind of pinnacle scene for the whole series. Everybody's waiting on this. Everybody wants to see him chop.
Is this the link to the promo team?
I just posted is the 7.
Okay, that's fine.
You can't watch it?
No, I've got something that lets me watch it.
Okay.
Whoops, sorry. So, hey, if you click on the Q&A button on the left side of your screen, it will pull up the audience questions and comments from the live video.
Really?
Yes, I just clicked on it. Hey, you don't have it right there. There is the chat button, screen share, showcase, Q&A.
Oh, I don't have none of that.
YouTube.
I'm on my phone now.
Are you on your phone, Kay?
No, I'm on my computer.
We have a lot of questions.
Ooh, let's start answering them.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh my God, Kay has
so the wall was bleeding.
In the chat room.
I like this one from Simple 4321 where Rick has no ass.
That's what
Come
I
on.
was just thinking.
It's all about the legs with him anyway.
He has a bum. He really does, but it's not.
He ain't got no bum. No, he don't.
No, he has a bum. It's not an ass. It's there. Rick has a nice little tushy, okay? But it's not. I've seen that. That is not an ass. So I just want to say that out there, okay?
Okay.
Rick has a bum, okay? But he has no ass. So
he got a bum.
Okay, there's a distinction between bum and ass.
Have you guys talked about the scenes with Daryl?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can touch on it because.
Okay, I got another email from Candy Ma 22, and she says, "Don't know if you got my earlier comment, but I was asking about the Abe and Sasha relationship. In your episode 1 live stream, it was mentioned that they weren't showing Holly because she might be black instead of white. They showed her and then killed her, but now they're giving her part to Sasha. I see it as good for Richonne, but at the same time, I don't want Sasha to die the way Holly does in the comic."
Me either.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yes.
I don't want it.
But it would be it would be a pretty dramatic death. I'll give it that.
That would suck.
Sasha does come across as somebody who would be like Holly and be like, gun-ho, say, I'm going in there, I want to kill Negan myself. She comes off like that.
That's true.
Something like that.
Yep. So are we calling it? Are we calling it right now? We calling her death?
No.
No, it's not. No.
Don't do it.
I'm not.
You calling it?
And remember, and consider this, that for Sasha, that will be the second time an enemy has killed somebody she cared about. So that would be right up her alley to do something like that.
True.
I don't want to do this.
And then that just brings up a whole. It just. Oh my goodness.
That would be a great arc for Sasha, and I don't want Sasha to die, but that would be riveting. She would do that part justice.
Yeah, it would be good.
I don't want her to die. I'm getting sad.
Would be sad.
It all depends on how they finish out this season. Because if they continue on the way that they do it now, I won't be watching, so I won't be sad.
That
You know what? I'm like right with you. I mean, they've been failing me left and right. I feel like I've been defending the season after seasons after seasons, and then I felt like, oh my god, team fan my ass. When have you guys looked out for the fans? You're only looking at one aspect of the fans. You need to look at both. It's frustrating. It just really frustrates me. And then the fact that they just can't seem to take criticism well, and then having to block tweets and then tweet users. It's kind of juvenile.
No, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back into last week's thing because
Please don't.
We already addressed that. Let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. Because we want to make sure we want to get in as many viewers and chat people as possible. Sure. We got to make it a little bit more broader.
Absolutely. But then when they're not listening to the fans and do whatever they want and then claim that they are listening to the fans, what then? What then, Lainey, Ashley? What?
They're doing their own thing.
What happened?
No, I'm just asking, like, okay, so we can't talk about last week because they did the fans wrong with last week. Now here we are with this week, and then they did the fans somewhat wrong because I mean, I've never seen them ship on a story sync ever, and then they do a ship on their story sync. And then you have that moment on The Talking Dead where I just want to throttle, like choke the life out of Chris Hardwick, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be like, what percent am I here for them not to be listening to? What percent? Because I mean, like, they can clearly see these tweets. They've seen the articles, and yet we still haven't gotten anything. And no kind of satisfaction. It's been 4 years.
I'm confused.
Well, it's been 4 years. I feel like it's like deaf ears.
Oh, well, I think Richonne's laughing, so I don't know what to say to that.
Why don't we go to a comment from Angie Garcia? So she says, I don't think Rick is supposed to be likable right now, and I think he's going to start talking to someone after the chop, and the thing with Carl happens. He does talk to 3 people in the comics. Douglas after Michonne hit him, Denise after the chop, and then Andrea later on, I believe. They all have PTSD, and everyone has always followed Rick despite disagreeing with him. He's just a de facto leader. Even when he stepped down in season 4, Herschel told him whenever he wanted back in or was ready that there would be a spot for him on the council. Rick said no. So I guess that's the reason why Rick is still the leader, even though he has PTSD. Well, then Rick needs to show some self-awareness and step down as leader and let Michonne be the leader.
And figure some things out. Pick up a hobby like you did back at the prison. Pick up a hobby. Raise some kids.
What kind of hobby?
Build some houses.
They need
build some fences.
He could be a trainer. They need a farm. He could be a farmer.
You know, go on picnics with your kids. I don't know. Just step back a little bit.
Yeah, I think Rick needs to be there before any of that happens, but I think it's going to happen.
I'm sorry, what was the first part you said, Ashley?
Oh, I said I think he needs to figure out that he actually has PTSD before he can, have self-awareness about it and do something about it. And I think that does come after, Carl almost dies.
Yeah.
That would be a great time for him to show some self-awareness. So hopefully that happens. We'll have to wait and see.
But she made it's a very good point.
Someone asked who we think was saying help at the end.
Oh, that's Glenn.
Yeah, that sound like Glenn.
Stranger.
It sound like Glenn.
I think it was Rick or maybe Spencer. It didn't sound like Glenn to me.
It sounded like Glenn. That last part sounded like Glenn. He was like, "Say that again." You know how he talks. Daryl, say that again.
Oh, and Norman said it wasn't Glenn, so
I guess it sounds like Glenn to me. I'm going with Glenn. My bet is on Glenn.
I guess when I first heard it, I didn't think it sounded like him, but like, who else would it be? Like, we want to know what happened to him. His is a story that is still open, so it has to be Glenn.
Yeah.
They may have even used a different actor to do it just to throw us off, but it's got to be Glenn.
Because it can't be Rick. It can't be nobody at Alexandria because they didn't put all them walkie-talkies up. They ain't even worried about nobody out there outside the gate. So it's got to be Glenn.
You have to consider the timeline that what is going on here with Daryl, Abe, and Sasha. Rick could just be jumping out of the RV and running. They fooled around with the time a little bit. So it could be Glenn in the fact that he fell and he's screaming for help, although I don't think it's Glenn because he would have to have pulled his walkie-talkie out of his pocket while they are eating on Nicholas. So, and that would be a little bit off because he's calling attention to himself while the walkers are on him. But that's the other thing is that they're playing with time here, so we have to try and piece together when the Abe, Sasha, and Daryl thing is happening in comparison to, JSS and the episode with Michonne.
I don't know. I think it's been pretty straightforward since the first episode with the black and white flashbacks. I think everything is happening pretty much simultaneously, and I think.
But simultaneously, when though? That's the thing about it. Just like when Glenn fell, when Glenn fell on the floor, is that at the same time when Rick is in the RV calling when it's at the same time when the RV wouldn't start.
Yeah. All that is happening at the same time. They're just taking us through different parts of, Alexandria. When they get attacked, that's all happening at the same time when they go out on that run. That practice run. All that is happening together.
And Daryl and Sasha and them were gone overnight, so it couldn't be like Rick is still out there because he got back.
Right.
So I don't know.
Is next week's episode. Next week's episode is the morning of when Sasha and Abe wake up and they have that conversation.
Probably.
Right?
I think so. Yeah.
So that still leaves Glenn out there, which means that he's been there overnight. So it can't be Glenn.
Why couldn't it be Glenn?
It can't be Glenn. It can't. Well, I mean, it can't be Glenn, but it can't be Glenn when he fell from when he fell.
Right.
It has to be
him, like underneath the dumpster, and the walkers got tired and they walked away, or it's
he's in a tight bind and he got out some way somehow and he's calling for help.
But why is he calling for it now? Why is he calling for it the next day?
Yeah, he probably couldn't get away at that point, you know, and he probably lost his flare gun, and all he got was his rusty old walkie-talkie. Come on, guys, y'all know how they tell a story. Stories ain't gotta make sense with The Walking Dead.
I just don't think it's Glenn either. I think it's a complete stranger. I really do think it's a complete stranger.
I don't need no more. I don't need another character.
How would a complete stranger get Glenn's walkie-talkie? Or a walkie-talkie that's...
No,
well, I don't know how walkie-talkies work, but don't they all have to be on like the same frequency or something?
How do we know the walkie-talkie Daryl is using... Okay, hear me out. How do we know the walkie-talkie that Daryl is using isn't Sasha and Abe's walkie-talkie? Didn't he lose his walkie-talkie to Dwight?
No. Remember, he was using it. Remember, remember when he got away from Dwight and them, got the bag, and remember he was behind the thing. He took the ties off his wrist, and he was calling for Abe and Sasha and Rick. So he had it then. So it's not to say that he lost it, but I know he still had it when he got away from them.
Okay, so he has his walkie. Abe, Sasha has their walkie. Rick has his walkie, and we know Glenn had his.
Right.
Okay, well, all right then. Then it has to be Glenn. I mean, who else could it possibly be?
Right.
Those are the ones I remember having a walkie-talkie.
Daryl doesn't have his walkie-talkie thing.
I was just thinking maybe because I remember that Enid was supposed to be in the episode with Glenn, so maybe it was her and she's asking for help because she like finds Glenn or something.
That was a man.
Yeah, that was a manly voice. You know, it was manly.
Very hesitant though. He was hesitant, or maybe it was meant to.
And
be
how But how long does a walkie-talkie charge last? Does it last a full 24 hours? Doesn't it have to be recharged at some point?
Huh.
I don't know, but you know, batteries and gasoline and electricity don't really matter because like years into the apocalypse, they shouldn't be having running cars anyway. So you know,
but they found
that really matters.
They found a fuel tank. I thought that was really good. I like the fact that they found Patty. It is a nice, full-equipped fuel tank.
They can blow some shit up.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Blow some walkers by the zone or whatever, or however they're gonna use it.
So it's safe to say that I guess Daryl, Abraham, and Sasha, they're not gonna be in the mid-season finale. You know, I don't think that's going to make it back.
I think they're going to save them. I think they're going to save the zone. They're going to pull up just in time with the tank, or with the fuel tank, or whatever. You know, I think it could go so many ways, but I think maybe they'll help them out.
Yeah, I think that's the reason.
Consider this. They're 20 miles away or plus, right? 20 miles away or plus. Now, I find it really hard. How are they not going to do the scene where the walkers are, they have engulfed all around Alexandria, right? I don't know how many of you read the comics, but remember when, what is it, Glenn and Heath tried to get the thing to Andrea in the tower, and it almost fell down?
Yeah.
So are they going to skip that? Because that was a really good scene. Why would they skip something like that? That was an awesome scene.
It. Well, the tower is just like I said, when they go out there and they try to fight the walkers off, they try to kill as many as they can outside the gate. We ain't going to get that either. It's a lot of good stuff that they're not going to do.
Unless maybe Daryl is going to pour some fuel somewhere and start a fire, which is the other thing. That was why last night's episode, I was like, Dwight and them had the right idea. You start a fire, they are attracted to the light. Burn all them bastards. You know, I mean, there's just so many ways you can get these walkers off the walls. So He got that big tank of fuel. That's what I say. Go 5-10 miles down, and you have to consider. Well, I'm considering. I know the show's not doing it, but you want to get away far enough so that the fumes don't affect the community, right? So I'd say it's 5 or 10 miles. Is that good enough? You start a fire there, and they start peeling off the walls and going toward the flames, right?
That would be a great idea.
Yeah.
That would make sense. That would make sense for them to like be planning what they're gonna do about the walkers outside of their gates instead of whatever they're getting up to in this peaceful moment or whatever they've got going on next episode.
Yeah.
So we've got another comment from Angie Garcia. She says, Michonne would be a great leader. What do you think about episode 7 sneak peek with Rick and Michonne both talking to Morgan? I thought it was interesting. Do you think it's about his behavior during the wolf attack or the wolf or both?
Carol snitched him out.
Well, that's what she needs to have done. Be like, this man let these wolves go, and we've got wolves out there. We don't know how many. We don't know when they'll be back. What the fuck were you doing with Jesse?
Boom!
I
think that.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I would think, first of all, somebody has to know that the wolf is there because for some reason Morgan's not saying nothing. I don't think Morgan's giving up that information because he knows that the minute they find out that he's got a wolf in there, Carol or Rick is going to kill him.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
They're going to quick. So somebody has to have found out that the wolf is actually in there. So the question is, are they sitting him down and talking to him because Carol told him, hey, Morgan had this issue about not killing these wolves, or is she talking to him because, hey, Morgan got a wolf held up in one of our houses, and he said he don't want to kill, something like this. It's got to be what.
What do you think, Ash?
Oh, yeah, I think it's that he, like Carol told on him, and they're going to be talking about how he doesn't want to kill anyone. And I think he will tell them, I hope, that he has a wolf locked up. I don't know, but if you guys watched that promo that I posted, Morgan also looks like he wants to cry when Rick says they need to talk. So, I don't know. there's a lot going on.
Well, do you think, I thought when you said crying, I thought you were talking about Rick, but okay, I do see what you were saying about Morgan. But my thing was, I think he was like letting out frustration when he is sick. He was like, I know I need to kill, but I don't want to kill. Our life is precious. That's what it looked like to me. He was having a moment. Rick better move or he get popped with that stick. Move out the way.
Yeah, I mean, both of them looked like they was going through something. I don't know. So
Rick up there touching on that wall again.
Right.
I'm interested in that sneak peek that Morgan. Wait a minute. I lost my train of thought. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me find it. When Morgan, when Michonne tells him, you can't live. What she say? You can't live on those 4 words alone. I think it is in the sneak peek. And I think that they are calling him out. It's like, listen, remember when Morgan says, well, you don't think I should live here? I want to know the answer behind that. What's the answer they going to give him? Because clearly, him saying that, they must know something like, you're not willing to kill. You're not willing to kill enemies or the people that's trying to kill the community. And he's like, well, you don't think I should live here? So at some point, they must know something about him, right? Either the wolf is there or the fact that he didn't even try and kill any of the wolves, right?
Yeah,
I think that question from him. Why is he asking?
It's like nobody wants. I think it's gonna be addressed pretty much because there's no holding back with Rick. Once he finds out that he wasn't willing to kill to protect their home, of course he's going to talk to him about it. And then eventually, I think they're going to find out that he's been hiding a wolf. I'm sure Carol or Rick himself will find out.
Mm-hmm. Well, Carol knew, I think. So I think she told Rick.
Yeah, she told. She's mad.
Huh? Did you see the promo?
You think that Carol knows that he kept one of the wolves in the houses?
No, I don't think she knows that part. She would have killed him.
Yeah, hands down. She don't know that. But, you know, when they do find out, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem.
What I see coming about with that wolf in that house, somebody innocent is going to go in there and they're going to end up getting killed.
Yep.
That's what I think is going to that sounds like what's going to happen. Because is he the only one with a key? You know, or is Morgan the only one with a key to that house where the wolf is?
Yeah.
And maybe that would bring about, maybe that's, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to ask y'all, did y'all hear, my friend was telling me something about that sometime in 6B that Morgan is supposedly supposed to be leaving the group again. Did y'all hear anything about that?
That sounds like speculation. I haven't heard any.
I haven't heard anything like that.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
Because she said she heard it on the news, ET or something, that he was supposed to just leave the group again.
I mean, I remember us speculating about it. Like,
and he was on a horse. They do have pictures of him on a horse. I don't know, but they do. She was saying something that she heard he does leave off again. So I can kind of see that happening, you know, with him. He can't stay with the group because he doesn't want to kill. So he leaves. Then we see him again.
He going to the Saviors? He want to go there? Where he going?
Girl, he's going back to that cabin.
Right.
He's going back to that cabin.
That's a nice setup.
No, that's a very nice cabin. I wouldn't mind going back to the cabin. That's a long way to go.
That's a cabin.
I wouldn't have left
the cabin. I wouldn't mind that. I like the cabin. But Ashley, thanks for sharing that YouTube. I didn't see that one.
Oh,
but you know, I'm mad at them. I'm so mad because Rick looks so cute in it.
He looks crazy. Why is he crying?
It's like, damn it! Yes, he is. He is crying, and it's like, oh my God! It's only when he's emotional. I just wanna hug him. I just wanna hug him and tell him it's gonna be okay.
I wanna know what's wrong.
Why he cried?
Did you realize
Does he feel guilty about what he did?
Oh, so.
Oh my goodness! What did he do?
Candyman22 says Morgan looked like a kid that got in trouble with his parents in that
He
sneak
really
peek.
did.
And I see Rick.
He did. He did.
Yep.
He did.
And then Andrew says Morgan might leave if he doesn't die because Lenny does movies. He could end up in the kingdom.
I forgot about the kingdom.
Yeah, I forgot about that coming up. But I really do see him leaving. I really do. I do see him leaving because he can't be with them. He doesn't want to kill, and that's just not his place. I do see him leaving.
And that's better than him dying.
Interesting.
I'm telling you, I don't want him to die.
Yeah, if he leaves, he can always come back later when Lenny James has time or when they want him in the story again. We got another question about the sneak peek from Fat Jan. It says, who do you think instigated the Morgan intervention? Was it Michonne or Rick?
Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, because Michonne was getting a little prompt when she was saying, I didn't say that. Don't be putting words in my mouth, Morgan. You know, she was like, I didn't say that. You know, it's a little bit of both of them. It was a little bit of both, I think.
I just wonder if we'll see like maybe Michonne like going out looking for Rick, because he hadn't been home or whatever, and be like, we need to talk about.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh, that's awkward. Look, where you been? Where you sleeping?
I hope they don't enjoy that. I would.
Yeah. Michonne ain't stupid. Yeah. She know the game. She ain't dumb.
I just want her to not care. Just like, oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I think we need a response from her either way. Like if they're going to do Rick and Michonne, she needs to respond. Either to say, oh, I don't give a fuck, or you hurt me, you bastard. You know? But she needs to respond.
Or she can be cold and smooth at the same time.
Right.
Or snarky. Either way.
It'd be a case of Carol telling Rick, and Rick is nervous about going to Morgan and talking to him about what he's done. He's like, and Rick is like, look, Sean, could you come and sit in with me, you know, on this so I don't kill Morgan? Because I'm about really pissed off right now, and I need, you know, that median, you know, right there. I need you to be able to hold me back because I might kill him over this. You know?
That's true.
And Rick doesn't want to kill him. He doesn't want to kill him.
Right.
But he wants to kill him.
Yeah. I don't want to, Rick, but I will.
Kill everybody.
Right.
I mean, I just might kill him.
I don't know what's going to happen if he's not here.
Yeah, so I need you to sit in on this conversation.
Now, what episode is this? Next week?
7.
7.
7?
Yep.
What's the name of it again?
Heads up.
What was that?
Heads up.
Heads up. Oh, okay.
Ugh.
Heads
so
up.
What did always accountable mean in this episode? Because I know every title means something. So what does always accountable mean?
For their actions, I guess. You know, Abe actually being patient. You know, Sasha leaving crumbs unintentionally.
No, Sasha still being bitchy. Still being bitchy. She's still being a little bitchy.
And then there's Daryl. Daryl. You know what I think?
They made a bad call for them.
You know what? Yes, I was just now thinking about it. As soon as you said that, Tennille, what he just did, he just may actually lead the Saviors to the zone. Something. I think his action by letting Dwight take his bike, take his crossbow. I know they're gonna meet up with the Saviors, and I know Dwight is gonna get, what is it, ironed? His face is gonna get ironed.
Yeah.
So I know it's gonna lead them back to the safe zone, one way or another. Right. So that's his accountability part and all that.
Daryl told him that he belongs to a community, but he didn't tell him where. He didn't tell him where it was.
Right.
But I still get the feeling Daryl is going to come face to face with Dwight somewhere near the safe zone, and it's going to be like, oh, this is the community you was talking about. Like
Yeah.
that.
I think that's just gonna show up and kill somebody with Daryl's crossbow.
Yeah. And he might kill her.
And
What is this, Carol? Oh my God, that was tough. Never mind, just kidding.
I can't believe he was so wrong with his characterization of. He was asking 3 questions. He was wrong on this one. He was wrong.
I don't think he was wrong. I don't think he was wrong. I think
the way they played it, like he was a suspicious one.
I think that they're going to end up being like allies to the group. Well, just like Dwight and that one chick, whoever she is. I think when Daryl said, like, when they say I'm sorry, and Daryl's like, you're gonna be. I think he doesn't mean that Daryl is going to be the one that's going to make him sorry. I think they're going to be sorry because instead of coming back with Daryl and like finding a group that would support him, they get kidnapped by the Saviors again, and then Dwight gets his face ironed off. So I think Daryl saw that they were good people, that they were trying to get away from bad people. He was trying to help them. I think he did the right thing to try to help them, but they're just like, they're like Rick. Rick would have done the same thing that they did. And Rick's supposed to be a good person, so.
Rick might have just killed him.
Anybody notice the guy? Anyone notice the guy?
Yeah, they didn't kill him, so he's already made an okay decision with them.
But did you guys notice that we, how we didn't see any of these bad guy faces? And did you also notice the way this dude had cut off that one dude's arm? Like he had, what was it? He had on a blue shirt and dark pants on.
Right.
And
they didn't even show it. They didn't show it, right?
On Talking Dead was talking about how like he might be like the anti-Rick. Like he looked like he had like the jeans and the boots and the plaid shirt, whatever. So maybe they're making a parallel between that guy and Rick.
Okay, because there was a comment that he made that I don't know if it was, maybe he was Negan's henchman, or if he was Negan himself, or it was like a parallel to what was coming. About he does something about not having them. Oh gosh, I have to actually watch that scene again to actually get the dialogue back. But there was something where he said he would rather have them coming back and then looking for them. After he chopped off the guy's arm, he made a comment that seemed a little parallel to Negan. How he is with women. He would rather have women coming to him than he going after, like chasing after them.
Oh yeah.
So it was like, I didn't know if he
was willing or not or something. I don't know.
So is he like ahead? Like is okay? Are they the saviors then?
Yeah,
I think
yeah. They're the saviors, hands down.
They had their faces burnt off.
But I don't think Negan was there.
No, Negan wasn't there.
Like, or something.
Okay, because he made a comment that seems like, okay, is he the henchman or is it him? That can't be him, because he wouldn't be out.
It wasn't him.
Okay, he wouldn't be out there looking for nobody, right? Okay.
Because Negan comic doesn't go chasing after. He doesn't go. He sends his men to do it. He don't do it himself.
Yeah. So that's what I kind of thought. I thought they were trying to remix it, and it almost confused me because I didn't actually stay to watch the whole of The Talking Dead because I got irritated like in the middle of it, so I just turned the channel. I didn't know if they discussed it even more if they talked about it.
To have Negan chasing after Dwight, it would be it would be underwhelming. That's not. I know they had to do Michonne's entrance at the end of season 2 because they had to let the audience know that Michonne is coming.
Right.
It would be so underwhelming if Negan chasing after Dwight because he's a minion. white guy. What does he have? He's like 200 strong, at least, right?
Yeah, he's got a lot.
Yes.
At least in the comics.
Wow.
Doing that. He's not doing that.
You know, I actually can't wait to see Negan. I like who they picked. I like who they picked. I really liked him. I liked him in The Comedian, as a comedian in The Watchmen. I also liked him when he was Winchester's father for Supernatural. He's a very good looking guy. So to see him shirtless, yeah, I'm ready for that as well.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't care if it's come off as the Negan in the comics. Negan in the comics is an asshole for real. And that
How are they going to do that?
Right, that's
How
what
are
I
they going to do that? Because he's mother F this. I mean, cuss like crazy.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that on TV?
I don't
cuts
know.
up a story so funny.
I just don't see how they're going to do him any justice.
That's why
Wow.
they did really good with the casting, but the writing is just, I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm scared they can mess him up. That's what I'm saying. How can you? Because Negan was the way he spoke alone.
He was on point.
You
He was
know.
a person of his own.
Yes, he's just a character. Yes. And I just don't know how they can.
He had his own laws and he had his own rules. He just. I don't know. I just want them to do a good job.
Yes.
I do too.
And the sad thing is that I like Negan. I like him as a villain. I'm like, he's like a gentleman, but then he's not a gentleman because you remember in the comics when they were trying to rape Holly, and he was like, I don't rape, and he killed one of his guys because they were trying to rape Holly, and I was just like, you know, that just goes to show what kind of man he is. And then when Spencer was trying to turn against Rick, and he was like, "Oh no, let me gut you. I don't like that behind the back stuff."
Because how am I supposed to know you're gonna turn around and do the same thing to me?
Right. Yeah, like, I cannot wait for Negan. I just can't. I'm excited. Do right by him. Write him right.
It is
so excited.
So excited. One more comment from Candy Ma, and she says, from Sasha's conversation, I took the title to mean that even if you're going through tough times, you're still responsible for the community because they can't defend themselves, but Rick's group can. They have to do their job because they have a home now, and it's because these people have let them in and are counting on the group.
Well, all the more reasons to actually listen to what the group have to say. Listen to the family.
Right. I think they are starting to listen. I think they're coming around. We just have to see.
Too little, too late. Cast is too big. A lot of them gotta go.
Well, no doubt. I mean,
yeah.
It really is too big, and I myself can't wait for some red shirts to just bite the dust. But
a lot of
that's just the problem.
I got a list of people. I'm not even referring to the Anderson. I got a whole list of people that I want to go, and Tara is definitely one of them. God, don't even get me started on Tara again. I just want her to go so big. She's taking up too much space.
Well, she might go. You know, she might. She might.
She just got a love interest, so she probably.
But you know, when they kill off somebody, they're just gonna bring somebody else new on.
Why?
They gotta stop that. They gotta stop.
They just may as well start bringing the bad guys in, like the ones that we were really waiting for.
Yeah.
And not the
Don't
wolves.
bring in no more people. Please.
I think the wolves was just a joke. It just really did.
You know what? I think that they had big plans for the wolves, and then they just kind of just like threw that story plot.
Well, you know what?
They had set it up to be like they're this huge bad deal at the end of season 5, and then now they're just crazy people.
I just thought the
Yeah.
wolves were the making of the whispers. Actually, I thought they just brought them in a little too soon because of the whole torso thing. I just thought that they were getting measurements. Honestly and truthfully, I really did. That's why there was the van by the Sherwill's place that was Creed. I had a whole Silence of the Lamb thoughts going on here. So I was
I don't think the wolves.
I really did thought that the wolves were the making of, a new group, which was the Whisperers. But that was like a ways away. A long ways away.
I don't think the wolves.
The wolves are done.
I don't think the.
What?
I don't think the wolves are done. I think they just gave us a taste of the saviors, and the saviors aren't going to come back until late in 6B. Because remember, they got to get to the hilltop. So they I don't see them interacting with the saviors, but I don't think the wolves are done yet.
Yeah, I think
we'll see. Well, anyways, guys, I need to get going.
Okay.
That's in the chat here. But thank you all for coming, and it's good to get all this stuff off my chest.
Yes.
Every Monday.
This is like
See
therapy.
you guys next week. And happy birthday, lady.
Happy birthday, lady.
Happy birthday, lady. Happy
Good
birthday.
night.
Bye.
Bye.